Hi, I'm Keith Gillingham from Panama City, Florida. 3.5 years ago, Hurricane Michael devastated us. And that was a pivoting point in my life when I did an about-face and stopped walking parallel with Jesus and started running towards him. And now my 3 rules are: love God, love people, go out and make disciples.
And you shared that is actually the turning point in your life of when you decided to follow Jesus.
Right.
Was because of a hurricane. Would you just tell us that story?
Well, like after 40 something years of life, I thought I'd experienced everything. But once my family and I went through a hurricane, we didn't actually stay for the storm, but when we came back and saw all the devastation, all the destruction, where I had to call out to God. And Jesus is the only one that saved me. He saved me, transformed me, healed me from the inside out. He made it to where whenever I think back of the hurricane and I see all the struggles that we had as a family, the thing that matters the most, is life.
We had Hurricane Michael, it was a Category 5 storm, and came through and really almost ground zero in the community where I live. And so we were able to spend a lot of time in the, like 6-9 months after the storm hit, going and doing well checks. And so we spent a lot of time, we found that people were really receptive. We just knock on the door and we would just say, we're just checking on people to see how you're doing after the storm, if there's anything that you need. Hard times. So we've seen, really good stories of people coming to know Jesus and getting serious about following Jesus after losing everything. So there is hope in the middle of really bad situations.
So as you talked about love and care for people physically, but also emotionally in the trauma healing, and spiritually in getting to share with them the hope of Jesus, the God they cried out to in the storm, but to actually for them to be able to pass it on to others and multiply. Yep. What do you see are the opportunities to multiply out of hurricane response?
Well, I think you've got a lot of big opportunities. So there's there's an urgent need, obviously. At the same time that there's an urgent need, there's not a lot that you can do after initially some of the initial cleanup and stuff like that. There's kind of a lag where there's sort of a waiting period, which would be a really good time to engage people. They don't have a lot of stuff that's competing for their time. A lot of like the traditional places people would gather, like normal church buildings, a lot of those have been destroyed. They don't have an opportunity to meet, so there's an opportunity there to kind of gather people together and just worship, focus on the hope that we have. So